enjoy your practice.
Thank you. Always so gracious. And it is nice to see you, Val. I can't wait till I get to see you in person at a training, but nonetheless, virtual I'll take. Yes, I'm Lara Ederer, and I am in the Seattle area, just outside the city. And you may not believe us if we told you that it hasn't rained for like 2 months, and it's raining today. So I know that's super cliche, but I'm coming from rainy Seattle, but we actually really needed it. So, and I'm caffeinated, very Seattle caffeinated, cliche yogi. So just a few things about when we get started. I am having the class donations sent to the Yoga Medicine Seva project. As Val had mentioned, Tiffany Cruikshank, Yoga Medicine is she's our teacher, our school, our methodology. And Tiffany's been a huge champion of raising money and awareness, and actually physically visiting in India for proceeds that go to help with the education and stabilization of the women who have been survivors of human trafficking. And so that's where I'd like to see any money going towards, in my effort towards her amazing bhakti devotional program. So if you are able to, that'd be wonderful. If not, it's good to connect no matter what. And I also want to mention, I just got in the mail yesterday the new Renew camo leggings. And I thought I was putting butter on my legs this morning. They are amazing. They are so soft and silky, and they fit great. They feel good. So anyways, here I am going to say, go buy the Renew leggings. And Kira did not put me up to that. So shameless promotion on my own. So when I had originally signed up for this theme, I was kind of thinking a lot about just the fact that we've been somewhat grounded for the last year and a half. I know there's been some places that are a little bit more mobile. Some places have been a lot more conservative as far as like the comings and whether or not kids were in school, or just how busy or close to, I don't want to say normal because I'm not sure what that word is anymore. But we felt somewhat grounded and limited. A lot of our travel plans, a lot of our maybe mobile, even going out to restaurants, were kind of tabled for a long time, pardon the pun. And with Garuda, who is the king of the eagles and kind of a fairly well-known asana, balancing asana in just vinyasa practice, that he is the king of the eagles and in constant flight and in soaring, majestic beauty, and that we kind of hope to maybe get back to being able to soar and to travel in our majestic beauty, or whatever that is. But just kind of the power and the grace, and the fact that in some of the old Indian and Hindu epics, that he has shown up as the kind of protector at times, like protected King Rama, Lord Rama, that is, when he was in the form of Vishnu. And the Ramayana protected him from, the serpents as they were on their heroic journey to rescue his wife. And, in some of the other epic tales, he shows up in service and in a form of power and nobility, but ever on the ready to soar and to be bold and mighty. So I kind of felt like we could really use that spirit right now, even if our travel plans are very small or once again put on hold. So we'd be doing some eagle variations in familiar and unfamiliar, or less familiar, I want to say, who knows, forms. So it is all levels, but if at any time you need to bring your knees down or take a break, of course, do so. And I would love it if you had a block. If you don't have a block, it's not the end of the world. But I mean, I think we've really realized having a yoga block is kind of a luxury problem compared to things, but a yoga block would be fantastic. All right, so let's get started on our backs. And I don't have a playlist. I'm not that exciting. We're just going to be listening to our breath. So come into your backs. And I want you to come with your feet wide and your knees touching. And then goal post your arms out. So cactus arms and constructive rest pose, knees together, feet wide. And if you do feel like there is a overarch of your low back, you can walk your feet further away or closer in. It's just going to kind of depend on your bone structure and your flexibility, range of motion. But adapt to that if you need to accommodate so that you don't feel overarch. And then just start to take deep breaths. Not quite moving to any set pranayama just yet. I'm kind of just really waking up the respiratory system and kind of connecting to breath awareness. And then settling into an equanimous inhale and exhale. And on your next inhalation, let's just drop your knees over to the right. And then take them over to the left. We'll do that 3 more times each direction. Inhale to the right. And then exhale left. Just starting to feel some mobility. A couple more times, go right. And then go left. 1 more time. Take over to the right. And over to the left. And as you come back towards neutral, interlace your fingers, draw your right knee towards your rib cage, and take your left leg long. And you can take your right knee across your chest, kind of like you're just tracing a little curved line across your ceiling. And then as you take your next breath, draw the right knee up towards the right rib cage, outer rib cage towards your shoulder. And compress through the hip flexors. Take 2 more breaths. And then before you switch sides, just bring both feet down. You can feel the difference between the 2 sides. Pretty quick to change. Then left knee in, right leg long. And the same thing, just kind of flossing across the ceiling, going across the fibers of the hip flexors. Feels so good. 2 more breaths. I like the simplicity of it. And then place both feet back down, just kind of coming back towards observation. Then pull both knees in towards your chest. Take your knees wide, bring your toes to touch. And then draw the knees together. Start to take circles with your knees, clockwise or counterclockwise, doesn't matter which direction. And then switch it. I'm sure there's psychology around which direction you started with. Then begin to move your knees independently. Feeling that movement right at the deep, vast hip socket. Couple more breaths. We're just trying to wake up our range of motion and mobility. Okay. And then we're going to cross the right knee over the left and eagle your legs. So whether or not the right foot comes around the back of the left leg doesn't really matter. Keep the right foot nice and active. So it might be hugging, but the right foot is active no matter where the body is. Start to turn on Ujjayi breath in and out through the nose. Then we'll either eagle the right arm under, right palm crossing and touching left, or if it's a little early for your shoulders, take your hands to the opposite head of the shoulder and just crossing left elbow over right. So we're going to start with just a little bit of simple core work. Instead of extending your legs and drawing them in, I want you to keep your knees kind of stacked right over your pelvis, actually maybe an inch drawn closer towards your chest to broaden the low back. Then engage pelvic floor and belly, moving out in Mula Bandha. As you take a deep breath in, extend the fingers behind you slightly, Then exhale, just simply lift the upper body and try to tap the elbows to your knee. Not bring the knees to your elbow, but elbows towards knee. Then inhale, release it back down. And then exhale, come up and tap or get close. 3 more times this side. Inhale, extend. Exhale, get a little baby tap. 2 more times, extend. Exhale, lift it up. And 1 more time, extend. Nice. Exhale, lift up. And then come out. Come back to hands and knees. My body's like right and left, don't even recognize each other all of a sudden. Quick change. So eagle, or Garuda asana, left leg. Again, foot doesn't need to wrap around the calf. Keep it active wherever. Then left arm into right this time. Now, as again, maybe you're traditionally doing the legs long, keep the knees stacked over the pelvis with maybe an inch closer. Low back broadens, pelvic floor and belly, lower bondage. Take a breath. Then exhale, rise up to tap. Good. 4 more times. Inhale, extend. And then exhale, come up, tap. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tap. 2 more times. Inhale, extend. Then exhale, come up, tap. 1 more time. Rise. The breath, inhale, and then exhale, empty it out. Come back to just a neutral reclined state. And then with as much playful action, make your way to hands and knees, tabletop. So I don't want you to necessarily ruminate over cat and cow in its kind of formulaic setting, which feels great, but start to move with more of a fluid investigation. So if it feels nice to add more hip circles, or if it feels a little bit better to stay more traditional, that your movements be quite a bit more of your own maybe organic nature. Some of us have been up longer than others, so maybe movements a little bit more established. We'll use Ujjayi breath, a hollowed out throat, in and out through the nose. 2 more. Flip your wrists so they come forward, fingertips go in the direction of your toes. You can always take your hands at a slight angle if that doesn't feel really maybe thoughtful in your wrists. Shouldn't be painful, but it certainly should feel like there is a discomfort. Start to shift forward and back a few times. Rocking the shoulders forward and back. And then starting to add some, a little bit more like an oval shape. Rolling your shoulders in one circle, back the other direction. Good, and take 1 more breath, just feeling a little bit of healthy stress on the wrists. And place your hands back toward neutral tabletop back, smooth it out with 1 round of cat and cow, drop the belly, and then exhale around the spine. Let's make our way into our first downward facing dog. Or it's my first downward dog. Maybe some of you have been in dog already today. First downward dog class. And I really encourage you to get all the wiggles out, whether that's lifting the heels or spinning the heels side to side. There's just so many different ways we can feel our bodies crave action. The nice thing about the yoga practice, especially when we're not in a dogmatic style, is that we can really feel kind of these ways that we can check off those boxes we need versus wait for specific instructions. 2 more breaths. And then rise the heels, look to your thumbs, step forward. Interlace your fingers for a pectoral stretch. Bring your hands to the webbing, shoulder blades retract, nice bend of your knees as you pitch your head forward. And if you want to, you can rock your shoulders a little bit down, side to side, knuckles, drawing a semicircle on the ceiling. But let your neck be nice and soft, let your jaw soften. 2 more breaths. Really relaxed knees. And exhale, drop the hands down towards your toes. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, float the spine. Again, remembering pelvic floor, belly. Take a nice long breath. Soft bend of the knees. Rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. And then exhale, bringing your palms together at the center of your heart, Anjali Mudra. So I'm going to chant what is the invocation of the Upanishads. And it is the Shanti mantra. It means, as teachers and students, may we practice together on all levels for the betterment of others, not just the self. May we practice without the ego and take this practice off the mat. You are welcome to not only listen, but to join at the end of the chant with the Om one time. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunatu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinam Ahiramastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasthiti, turn your palms forward. You can separate the feet a little bit, or toes can touch heels apart, whatever feels most kind of balanced for you. And as you inhale, Urdhva, reach the arms up. Maybe look to your thumbs. And then exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Extend your spine, inhaling Ardha. And let's step your left foot back, left knee down. Toe heel your right foot out towards the edge of your right side mat. And place your left hand to the outer left side, so it's kind of a wide stance. Now, as you inhale, turn your right toes right knee towards the right, and then soften your left hip down. And then exhale, just spin back to neutral. We'll do that 3 more times. So turn the right knee to the right, drop left hip, and then exhale, come back. 2 more times. So it's just little movements, but I think they feel pretty big. Bring it back. 1 more time, turn it to the right, drop left, and then walk the right foot in. Keep your left hand inside the right foot, but adjust it. And take your right arm all the way up. But then cactus your right arm and squeeze your right shoulder blade onto your back. Now you can take your gaze towards your right hand if you want to, or if your neck needs a little bit less drama, you can always look down. Take 2 more breaths. Just really actively squeezing your right shoulder onto the spine, retracting it, getting your pecs to open up. Then exhale, right hand down, step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, take your left leg high. Bend your left knee, roll it open. Take 2 big circles with your knee to your belly, each direction. Bringing the knee as close to the ribs and navel as you can. Just really functionally generous. Good. Then back to your 3-legged dog. Inhale. Bring your left knee towards your ribs. Exhale. Shoulders over your wrists. Inhale. Look between the thumbs. Maybe your palms stay flat. Step your left foot through. Inhale. Turn your chest forward. Exhale. Right foot behind left. Cross ankle folds. Shift a little bit side to side. I'm feeling these lateral hip muscles. 2 more breaths. I mean, you're doing a lot in the lower body. And then cross your feet. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, floating the spine. Soften in your knees. Stand all the way up. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms by your side, Samasthiti. And switch sides. Inhale, reach the arms up. Maybe look up. And then exhale, fold it down. And extend your spine. Right foot back, right knee down. Low lunge. Right hand wide, left foot out, and the lizard state. Inhale, turn the left toes out, right knee softens down, and then spin it back to center. 3 more times. So turn left, soften right, and then exhale back. 2 more times. Little movements, but fairly impactful. 1 more time, spin left, drop right hip, and slowly toe your left foot in, anchor your right hand down, twist your lunge, left arm up, goal post or cactus, retract, and let your gaze kind of choose its drishti point. Take 2 more breaths. So sometimes I guess is how well you sweat is where your drishti point is. Whether or not your neck is in the mood to turn. And lower the left hand down, step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, three-legged dog with the right leg high. Bend your knee, roll it open. Two big circles with your right knee towards your belly in a mandala, one circle. Back, opposite direction. Once again, generous range of motion. Great, back to three-legged dog, inhale. Right knee towards your lower belly, exhale. Bring the shoulders over your wrists, inhale, think flat palms. Step your right foot between your hands. Runner's lunge, bring the chest forward. Left foot behind right, cross ankle, forward fold. Shift a little bit side to side. Maybe a little bit front and back. Good, uncross your feet. Inhaling, float the heart, Ardha Uttanasana. Soft bend of the knees, exhale, rise your arms, Urdhva Hastasana. Let's come into Utkatasana, first pose. AKA chair. Quite an oppositional kind of idea. Garuda always being in flight and soaring, and then we sit down in chair. Then 3 more breaths. Embody our Vishnu sitting on the powerful Garuda. 2 more breaths. Nice, 1 more breath, inhale, and then exhale, fold it down to your Uttanasana. Extend your spine, Ardha. Left foot back, left knee down. Let's tuck your back toes under. So tuck the left toes under, hug your inner thighs in, then scissor. So make it nice and active. Now we'll eagle left arm under right. So these are Garudasana arms. Once again, you can always take the outer knuckles if the wrists don't quite make the wrap, or hands to opposite shoulders. Take the forearms away, scoop the fingers up, and then hug in. So it may not look very exciting to the untrained eye, but we're quite active here. Taking 2 more breaths, maybe sending the knuckles up, fingers up, maybe starting to take a little bit of a baby back bend. Good, take 1 more breath. And then exhale, lower your hands down. Lift the back knee, keep your left hand very light, and extend your right arm up and then overhead, reaching through your fingertips. Now I also want you to lift your inner and outer left thigh a bit. So it might feel awkward, kind of like you're sticking your tail out towards the screen. But instead of wrapping the left hip under and letting it collapse. 2 more breaths. You can even pick up the left hand just to make the suffering a little bit more. Dukkha, 1 more breath. Exhale, hands down. Downward dog with right leg eagle. So pick up the right leg, eagle it around the left. And once again, the toes don't need to wrap around. The right foot can be actively hugging the left side. Okay, take 2 more breaths, and you might even windmill side to side a little bit here. I'm really feeling this in my right side TFL, touch of fascia muscle, outer glutes. You're gonna feel it kind of you're gonna feel it where you feel it. Then uncross the legs, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale for forward plank. Of course, you can always drop your knees. Supported plank pose. And we'll take 3 deep breaths. So if you forgot about your bandhas, Uddiyana Mula, here's the time to remember them. Turn the sternum forward with knees or straight body, chaturanga to the floor. Anchor the toes, pubic bone, cobra, inhale, roll the chest, and lower back down. 2 more cobras. Inhale, come up into cobra, and then exhale back down. 1 more time, cobra, inhale, come up, pause, and just feel the toes and pubic bone root. It's interesting because Garuda, his enemy is the naga, or a certain type of snake. 2 more breaths. So the Ramayana, he actually saves Rama from snakes, from the evil serpents. Take a breath. Exhale, lower down. Come up into hands and knees or plank to downward facing dog. Let's take the left leg high, 3-legged dog. This time, left knee, left shoulder, pause. Take a breath, look between your thumbs. Step your left foot through. Come into reverse warrior. Reach the left arm up. And slide your right arm nice and back, long and light for 2 more breaths. Next, we'll take 1 more breath. Exhale, come into side angle pose, Parsva Konasana. Either take your right arm over for the extended variation, or if you want to take half bind, full bind, take 3 breaths. So one of the reasons why I like Garuda is I'm also terrified of snakes. So I'd really love to have him on my side. Give yourself another breath. And then exhale wherever you are. Bring your left hand down. Spin the right hand inside of your left foot. Pick the right heel up. There's your runner's lunge. And step the right foot forward. Inhale, float the heart. Soft bend of your knees. Exhale. Rise all the way to stand. Inhale. And then exhale, Utkatasana. Mom, you do Utkatasana. Take 3 breaths. You don't have to be in that tortured kind of low. You can have more leg. You can have more of that kind of upward extension. Take a breath. And then exhale, fold it down. Inhaling, article of the heart. Right foot back, right knee down, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, rise the arms, tuck the back toes, scissor hug in, and then right arm under eagle. Take the forearms away, scoop the fingers up. Again, we're not like, oh, going overly Instagram here. We're trying to be a little more active and overall engaged. 2 more breaths. So let strength, stretch, mobility, stability all come together. All right, bring your hands down, tuck the back toes, lift your right knee. Right hand stays, but let it be light. And then reach your left arm up, then overhead. I'm actually gonna hover. Again, I'm not letting my right hip wrap under. That's a tendency a lot of us have in lunges. 2 more breaths when we twist. It's not that the twist happened from the navel up, but from the pelvis. Good, exhale, hands down. Eagle dog, left leg, wraps around the right. Whew. And you already probably feel, obviously, the upper body is spread on the mat evenly, and the lower body is now off to one side. 2 more breaths, and that's okay. Because our mat is for us to travel around. Good, uncross, and you're back in the dog. Inhale, rock forward to plank. Take 3 breaths, push the floor away, but keep your neck nice and long. Good, 2 more breaths. Bandhas, energy locks. Turn the sternum forward, chaturanga to the floor. 3 cobras, inhale, Bhujangasana, and exhale, 2 more. I always think a cobra is kind of a treat for the body, although terrifying. 1 more cobra pose, pause, pivot thumb toes push down. Take a nice long breath. Exhale, soften it back down and push out to plank, downward facing dog. Please inhale, 3-legged dog, right leg high. Right knee, right shoulder, pause. Good, look between the thumbs, flat palms. Step your right foot through. Come up into reverse warrior. E-Ryt. Virabhadrasana. Take a nice long deep inhale. Light left hand. So we'll come to side angle pose now, right forearm down, or of course bring the hand down. Extended variation or bind it. Baddha Konasana. 2 more breaths. Binds feel so much better if you haven't had 2 meals yet. So those of you in Eastern time, sorry. Release whatever binds you may or may not have. Hands spreading the right foot, pick the left heel, runner's lunge, step your left foot. Inhale, float the heart, top bend of the knees, rise all the way up to stand. Eagle, left arm under, left leg over, traditional Garudasana. And this pose is always one we can refine. So you can hug the left hip back if you feel the knees are spinning far to the right. Try to stack the knees and the elbows straight to the midline. Take 2 more breaths. Garuda. Good, then release the leg. Draw the left knee up, reach your hands up. Extend the left leg perhaps. Try to lift through the hip flexors. And sweep your left leg back. Bend your right knee, hover the left toes, hover, hover, quiet step back, high lunge. Now start to reach your arms up, palms together, and hook your thumbs at the nape of your neck. Broaden your collarbones, send your elbows up, but I want you to push your forearms, wrists into your head, and your head into the forearms and wrists. Good, take 3 more breaths. So there's kind of this resistance. Great, 2 more breaths. Elbows going up, collarbones broad. 1 more breath. Place your left hand down to side plank with eagle legs. Left hand anchors, push into your left hand, feel the push, the stabilization. Spin all 10 toes to the right, right toes eagle around left leg. Oh, I kind of like this one too because I feel a little bit bouncy. And if you're like, I don't feel very bouncy here, Laura, you don't need to take traditional Vashisthasana. You can always bring your right toes out and stack a little bit more like that versus wrap. 3 more breaths. So our friend Vashisthasana means Garuda. 2 more breaths. I mean, you know, these sages lived for thousands of years, they were bound to meet. Curl your right hand down, step back either to plank or float the right toes, 1 foot plank. Take 3 breaths. I mean, you know, you stick around for thousands of years, you're bound to meet everybody. And either chaturanga or the floor, maybe up dog or cobra, and then downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale, take your left leg high. Left knee, left shoulder, pause. Stay there forever. Step the left foot through. This time come up into warrior 2. Vera B, palms turned down. Take 3 breaths. Feel this nice, active, powerful footing. Nice broadened collarbones, just really spacious. Great, 1 more breath. Start to straighten the left leg. Reverse bound triangles. The bindings of the left wrist. Plug back, arch back. I want you to be super active in your left foot. But 2 more breaths. Really easily in that left knee. And I want you to feel that lift. Good, come back to warrior B. Exhale, windmill your hands down. Spin the right foot, step it forward. Inhale, float the heart, Ardha. Soften the knees. Rise to stand, inhale, Urdhva. Eagle right arm under. And right leg over, Garuda. So here, hug the right hip back. Notice the fingertips up. And I know there's different styles, different traditions teach it different ways. And there's no right or wrong way, there is just that way that day. 2 more breaths, or what you feel in your body. Right? Sometimes we know, this doesn't feel good. Good, release the arms, draw the right knee up. Point the right toes, oh, woo. Lift from the hip flexors. We're gonna fly the right leg back, but hover. Bend your left knee, pause. Oh, pause, pause, pause. And then slowly step your right foot back. We're coming into high crescent lunge. Palms together, hook your thumbs at the opposite foot, elbows wide. Push. Or resist, push mutually. Forearms in the base of your skull, resist each other for 2 more breaths. So we're gonna set up for that eagle side plank. Right hand down, push down, anchor the right hand. All 10 toes will spin left, then left leg over right. And here we are in Eagle Vashisthasana. And what's nice about this is you can get that right foot flatter, which helps give you that lift. It helps us, instead of just using the nice edge of the foot, we get the whole foot to give us that power. 2 more breaths. So the right arm is not alone in the mission. Okay, either plank or float the left leg, 1 foot plank. Turn the left toe or left hand down, float the left leg, or turn the toes to the mat lightly. Take a breath, either chaturanga or the floor. Upward dog or cobra, inhale. The downward dog, exhale. Inhale your right leg high. Right knee, right shoulder. Flat palm, step the right foot through. Warrior two. Spin the back heel. Virabhadrasana B. Noble hero pose. Get 3 deep Ujjayi breaths. Then as you inhale, reverse triangle, straighten the right leg, left hand, right wrist. Give it 2 more breaths. Then get 1 more breath. Exhale, windmill your hands down. Bend your right knee. Step your left foot. Inhale, let's float the heart, hands to the shins. Soft bend of the knees. Rise all the way up to stand. Inhale. Now you're going to come into Utkatasana. Exhale. So as we come into option of either, and you can rest for a moment, when you come into Parsva or side crow with eagle legs. So I guess you could call it side eagle. I would probably think an eagle would be the crow in fight. So I'm going to cross my eagle my left leg over. So if I eagle my left leg over, I'm going to actually bring myself into balance. So you can start with your feet down, bend your knees, and then you're going to eagle left leg over here. Then turn towards the left and either stay here with your tippy toe down or work on taking your hands about shoulder width. I'm going to make sure my right elbow, right tricep catches the left thigh. My left arm is free. I can turn around and show you from a little bit more of a frontal perspective. Bring my hands down, shift the weight, and then float up. And then I can try and hook the legs here or not. Good, 2 more breaths. Whew. Slowly come out of that one. And between sides, we'll just take a nice, I don't want to say lazy forward fold. I think forward folds are quite active. Then we'll try the other side. So again, this time you're going to be eagling the right leg over and then going off to the right. So you can come down here into your little kind of toe stand, squatty, cross the right leg over, giving yourself that separation of your arms, twisting to the right. So we start with some twists early on to make this a little bit more navigational. Start to place your hand about shoulder width. I'm going to keep my right arm wide. If you need both arms, I'm not the yoga police, but try. So you can eagle now your side crow. Now I can wrap my right toes on this side, much easier than left. Okay, 2 more breaths. And I think that's what we find happens over and over in all the poses. One side just a little bit more generous than the other. Good, we'll come into Padahastasana. So feet to hands pose. Give yourself some love for your wrists. Give yourself a little bit of love. Take 3 more breaths. Good, exhale 2. 1 more breath. Slide your hands, float the heart, hands to the shins, extend, soft bend the knees, rise all the way up to stand, inhale, just a regular Utkatasana, exhale. Take a breath, chair pose, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, step your left foot back. Inhale, rise the arms up, Anjaneyasana, exhale, hands down. Eagle the right leg over, eagle dog. Taking 2 breaths. Take a nice long inhale, and then a deep exhale. Eagle side plank, right hand down, left hand down, turn to the right. So going from eagle dog to eagle side plank. Good, 1 more breath. Exhale, either go straight to downward dog or vinyasa of choice. Maybe up dog or cobra, and a downward dog. Inhale, take the left leg high. I'm gonna put things together. Left knee, left shoulder. Step the left foot through. Open up, warrior two. Eagle left arm under. Eagle variation in side angle. So returning the left ribs towards the left femur. Coming into either half moon with eagle arms, or as you float the back leg, you can turn the sternum towards your screen. If this just doesn't feel functional for you, don't even worry about it. You can always take your arms in the variation that feels better. 2 more breaths, because I know there's one that will. Come into reverse warrior, reach the left arm up. Exhale, hands down. Spin the right foot. Step it forward. Inhale, float the heart. Soft bend of the knees. Inhale, stand up. Utkatasana, exhale. Take a breath in Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extend your spine. We'll take the right foot back. Come into high crescent pose. Reach your arms up. Good. Feel yourself in high crescent. Exhale, hands down. Left leg over right in your eagle dog. Good, take a breath. Then we're going to turn the toes to the left. Eagle side plank. Vashisthasana. Okay, take a nice long breath. Either downward dog or vinyasa. Either or. Or if there's something else you want to do in between, you're like, I know what's best for me, go for it. Inhale, take the right leg high. Right knee, right shoulder. Pause. Right foot through. And we'll come into warrior two. Eagle right arm under. Ardha Konasana. Hover your eagle arms over the right thigh. I'm going to back up. So come into half moon pose. Ardha Chandrasana. Spinning. Woo. Spinning towards the center of your sternum with those arms. Take 3 breaths. Oh, ho, ho. Exhale 2. Nice, 1 more. Come into reverse warrior. Left palm or left foot taps down and right arm up. Exhale and lay your hands down. Spin the left foot, step it forward. All right, reach for your block since you're down low now. Or water. Or both, and then slowly stand up. I'm going to caffeinate myself for a moment, which is just maybe a terrible idea, but sip of coffee. We're going to do our eagle now on our block. So eagle on a perch, eagle on a ledge. Now it's easy for me because I am a short person with little feet. However, we all have 4 corners of our feet. Some teachers teach 3. So it's either 2 in the big toe, my little toe, 2 in the heel, or thinking that it's more of like kind of a thinner triangle. So you're going to step, I'll mirror you, step your right foot onto the block, and then find the 4 corners or 3 points of your foot. So if your toes or your heel kind of crowds over, that's fine. Just don't curl the toes and hang on for dear life. Push down into the flat surface of the 3 or 4 points. Okay, then you're going to lift your left knee up, wrap it around, left arm under. So either stay in this upright, or as some refer to, sleeping eagle. Although it doesn't really sound like Garuda did a whole lot of napping, poor guy. Always had to be ready. Everybody needed him. So you can fold. And if you came to sleep, somebody needs you, Garuda. Come back up. Slowly, 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 slowly. Good. Finish for a breath. And release. Now, if you want to, you can step off the block, or I always find it kind of fun to switch on the block. Like I said, I have little feet, so it's a little bit easier for me, I admit. And then try and find those 4 or 3 points of your left foot. With the right knee up. Wrap it around. Woo! And then you're gonna take your right arm under. Ardha arms and legs. Okay, power nap time if you want. or stay. Of course, we're nice and slow and controlled as we come into spinal flexion or folding. Okay, 3 breaths. At this point, eagle probably feels like you just put on the snuggest glove, or those fluffy socks in winter. It's a cozy pose now. Inhale, start to slowly come up. Exhale, release the arms and the legs. Come off of your perch. Samasthiti. Let arms by your side. Same standing pose. Maybe close your eyes or soften your gaze. So some pratyahara, remove the sense of the eyes. And come back to your Ujjayi pranayama. Your body's taking quite a journey. We'll take 3 more breaths. Quite a journey. 2 more breaths. Strong, steady inhale. And powerful equanimous exhale. Inhale, Lord, and reach it up. And then exhale, fold it on down. Inhale, float the heart, Ardha. Left foot back, left knee down. So we'll come into half splits or Ardha Hanuman, but I want you to shift forward and back a few times. Because we've done some folds. Hamstrings have certainly warmed up over the last bit of class, but before you come into either pointing the right toes or flexing the right toes, flexing will be a little bit deeper. You can stay into your Ardha Hanuman lifted, or walk your hands forward and fold a little deeper if you'd like. Five more deep breaths. And of course, if you went in full splits, good for you. No need to necessarily work in that variation. Good, then rebend your right knee. So we want you to transition onto a seat in between sides. So you can roll off to the right side, have a seat, or those of you maybe roller skated during the 80s and 90s, more like 80s, you can shoot the duck, draw your left knee in, and extend your left leg in front of you. And from here, you can cross your right foot in front of your left, and we'll just take a nice seated twist. Left hand can be outside of your right glute, or you can turn the palm out, Ardha Matsyendrasana, half floor to the fish. Okay, 5 more breaths. I mean, we could pretty much throw eagle in a lot of things, like eagle arms in just about everything. One of my favorite arm variations to add to lunges for multitasking. Good, uncross your knees. And then you're gonna come up to Ardha Hanuman, switching back and forth. So I'm gonna come up onto my left foot, kick the right knee back. And whether or not you do something a little bit fancier or not, shift the legs forward and back a few times. And then when you're ready, Ardha Hanuman. Ardha Hanumanasana. Again, you can feel yourself here in a very elongated, deep folding state, more upright. Take 3 more breaths. Hanuman and Garuda met in the Ramayana as they were both servants, friends of Rama and his epic journey to rescue his wife, Sita. And then bend your left knee, and you can shoot the duck or have a seat somehow. So bring the right foot in, awesome, and then the left foot over. And the reason why seat was so important, I mean, true love should be, but she also is kind of the symbol of innocence and devotion, purity. And so it isn't so much about her per se, but the whole concept and the protection and the, guarding of those gunas, those qualities. 3 more breaths. So important. And 2 more breaths. All right, so knowing that I'm not there to assist and I don't know everybody's individual practice, I wanted to give us a couple minutes to do something inverted. So could be viparita karani, that's at the wall using a block underneath your sacrum. If you choose to do a shoulder stand, it means your neck's 100% healthy, energetically you feel that's the place to be. You do a head, hand, or forearm stand, of course, with the option of eagle legs. I know you saw that coming. So I'm just going to demo it in traditional Shirsasana, the bound variation. When we're upside down, when the pelvis is above the upper body and it's not on the ground, it actually has more access for range of motion. So you might find that your ability to get in the eagle upside down is more so than right side up. So it doesn't matter which leg you start with. In this case, I'm going to cross right leg over. Now I can get that so much more snug here. And some of the stability, strength we work on in core, will give us that opportunity to switch upside down without, I don't know, face planting, I suppose. So, play. I'm going to come and look at the screens that'll allow me. I see legs in the air. Ooh, I see lots of noble yogis. And if you preach Karani at the wall, legs at the wall feels like what you want to do, I'm all for it. I couldn't recommend that more. I couldn't suggest that more. Now, of course, if you choose to stay longer, choose to stay longer. But eventually, my friends out there, if you're doing a head, hand, or forearm stand, your counter pose will be child's pose, balasana. Those of you doing a shoulder stand, either plow or half plow, maybe followed up by ear pressure pose. You can take the knees to the ears or your knees to your forehead, candlestick, and give yourself some time. Yeah, so head, hand, or forearm stand, maybe some child's pose for a few breaths. If you're doing legs at the wall, place your feet down, bringing yourself into a variation of maybe just baby bridge, supported bridge, or remove the block. I want to give us the option for supported fish at the end of class in our Shavasana state. So we won't do fish right now, but let's all meet up on our backs and then draw your knees back in towards your chest. So hug your knees in towards your chest and then take those little circles again with your knees together. And then take it in the opposite direction. Good. And then start to spin them independently and maybe feel that now that things feel a little bit maybe more generous, smoother, overall wonderful. And now yogi's choice, if you want to do happy baby or more of a straddle, Ananda Balasana or more of a straddle, just rock a little bit side to side. So we'll finish with symmetric poses, because obviously eagle is very much oppositional. We do the same, but there's oppositional work here. So 1 or 2 more breaths in your happy baby or straddle. And as you're ready to, if you're craving fish pose, this will either be part of your Shavasana, sliding a block, the portrait setting, the long setting underneath your shoulder blades. And you do need to move the block maybe just a little bit to get it in that perfect Goldilocks place underneath your shoulders. If you do not want to have a fish pose and Shavasana is just calling your name right here, right now, come into your source of rest. No need to stay in anything longer or less than you deem as a purposeful place of rest. And if your mind is wandering, bring yourself back to a state of maybe observing something simple like your breath. Now, as you begin to establish subtle movements, maybe slight wiggles of fingers and your toes. Maybe they feel a little bit more like wings at this point or powerful talons. We really take the imagery to something a little bit more eagle-esque. When you are ready to take that big expansive reach. Oh. Yeah, rolling on the spine feels delicious. Eventually roll off to your right side. Take a few moments, settle in. It's like Shavasana represents the death of the physical practice. And as we start to maybe lift up and we find ourselves in a kind of new rebirth preparation for a new practice, the practice off the mat. Allow your palms very lightly just to rest in Anjali Mudra. And bow your forehead to your fingertips. Now, in honor of what is that inner teacher, and that is the Guru that lies within your hearts and your own souls. Om Balo Sad Guru Maharaj Aki. And I thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Namaste. Oh, Lee's smiling and clapping.
Namaste.
You all like, ah. Do I look like just an eagle or what? Kind of look more like chicken toes.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, Val.
Hi, that was awesome. I used to teach such a similar class. I was reminded, I was like, oh my God, I haven't taught this class in so long, but I loved it. I loved it. It was so much fun. Thank you.
Great minds, huh?
It's been a long time since I've done eagle and side plank. I was like, I used to teach this sometimes.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone, for joining. Are there any gentlemen out there? Just a bunch of ladies? Love it. That's all right. Again, I have to tell you, the Renew leggings are the bomb. Right, Val?
They are. They're my favorite. My favorite. I have to say, because they don't have the elastic band at the waist, so they're nice and comfy. I love them.
Yeah. Oh, cool. One of my regular students joined. Hi, Sherry. Yeah. Hi. You're hiding. That's all right.
I'm here.
Hi. Sherry lives really far west. She's on one of the San Juan Islands outside of Seattle. So yeah, those of you on the East Coast, she's trying to get as far away from you as possible. Try to get as far away from Seattle traffic as possible.
I bet.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right. Anything
nice.
we need to discuss or just say hi to everybody? Yeah.
Just wanted to say hi and thank you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. And definitely check out Victoria next week. She's great.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's really great. She's taught for us a couple times. So happy to have her back in the
And I'll be back in October.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. All right. Well, thank you for coming, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are in the world. Sending lots of love out there.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again, Lara.
Thanks, Val.